Good afternoon. Joe Scarice here at Real Estate Radio Network, coming to you every week with a great piece of education on real estate. Whether it's in the greater Philadelphia market, South Jersey market, we're always trying to bring you somebody that could give you a piece of information or education to take your real estate to the next level. And today I have Alex Shnayder from Alex Shnayder Law Practices, right?
It's Shnayder and Associates, yes.
Shnayder and Associates, okay. And you're with RE/MAX Eastern as well.
And RE/MAX Eastern as well.
And the newly appointed president of the Bucks County Board of Realtors.
That's correct as well.
I mean, all these titles, this is great.
I'm looking for bigger business cards at this point.
You're going to have postcards at this point.
Extensions.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to bring you in because of the diversity that you bring to your position. You're not just an attorney, you're not just a realtor, but you're also involved with the intricacies to Bucks County Real Estate Association of Realtors, I think, which is to me one of the best associations in the area. I've been an affiliate 2, 3, 4 years now.
That's right.
And I've really enjoyed the membership because of people like yourself that put a lot of effort into the association.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is really looking out for our members, and the affiliates play an integral role in making sure that members really get quality out of what their dues are paying for. So we think it's important, and it's good to know that it doesn't go unnoticed.
No, I mean, I always tell Pam, and they got the great group of people that you get the support there at that office. So let's talk a little about your practice and the real estate. Let's talk about your practice first. How does that tie in currently in the real estate market for yourself? Where do you kind of come to the crossroads where you handle legal or you handle real estate?
So, with me, it's a little bit dynamic. I'm fortunate in the sense that, I was a realtor long before I went to law school. I went to law school as an adult. So I wanted to get into litigation when I went to law school. I had a professor tell me, well, don't be a dummy. You might as well stay in real estate and get into that aspect of it legally. So when I got out of law school and passed the bar, I decided that that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I didn't want to give away or give up real estate sales. So for me, there are two pieces that the businesses sort of build off of each other. I get transactions that I wouldn't have gotten if I wasn't a realtor, and I get transactions that I wouldn't have gotten if I wasn't an attorney. So there's an interplay there. I think a lot of the questions that people tend to have is, can I take one hat off while I'm doing the other? That part is tricky. I think one of the things that distinguishes me from other, we'll say from the real estate perspective, that distinguishes me from other agents is the fact that I'm an attorney, and I can't just turn it off, right? So, speaking to clients, whether it's buyers or sellers or whomever, the legal hat stays on, and I still have to explain them things.
Do you see it more of a benefit when it comes pertaining to a buyer or a seller, where your legal hat is on and your real estate hat is on? I mean, where does it really benefit? Is it on the buyer's side more so, or the seller's side, or does it really make any difference?
It does make a difference. I would say that on the buyer side, there tends to be more hand-holding than there is from a seller side. You're involved with the client much more. You're going out looking at the properties together. You're helping them get financing. You're helping them go through inspections and different things that are happening with the municipalities. So I think that the legal side of it gets much more involved on that end, but it's involved on both sides, but it tends to happen more on the buyer side.
Now, having the legal background, there's specific areas of real estate that are obviously still coming across, like foreclosures, bank REOs, short sales. Mm-hmm. When it comes to short sales, I mean, obviously having an attorney right from the get-go does save a listing a lot of time, where a realtor doesn't really have that level of that legal experience. Where do you come involved with some of those type of scenarios?
So part of my legal practice, actually, we have a division within our law firm that handles just short sales, not only for us, but for other real estate agents as well. The benefit there is, the first thing is, buyers do not have to pay us to negotiate that short sale. We get paid by the lenders of the sellers that are going to accept the property short. So that's one benefit. The other benefit is we're able to understand some of the lingo and provide counsel to both buyers and sellers during those processes. I always joke that we call it a short sale, but it's anything but, right? It's a long and tedious process, and you need to make sure that that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. I've noticed in the past that when it's I don't want to say just a real estate agent, but it's just a real estate agent handling the short sale, they tend to fall back on, well, it's a short sale, this is just how long the process takes. When there are additional things that, as an attorney, we can do by contacting the lender and helping push it along, we'll say.
I mean, is it easier when it's not I don't want to give names of banks, but let's say that the short sale is with a no-name bank or a bank that's local. Do you see the legal process the same? Is it easier when it's a local bank?
Significantly easier when it's a local bank. In my opinion, it seems to be the smaller banks. There's and this is going to sound bad as well, but there's a human being on the other end of that that's making decisions that are reasonable and make sense and involve common sense, where oftentimes when it's a larger lender or a larger servicer for an investor, a lot of times they're making decisions that are, my computer screen says it's time to, this is acceptable or it's not acceptable, and that's the end of it, and they won't make rational decisions based on that.
So it's sad to say, but good to say is that there's still some steady business out there in Bucks, the Bucks County surrounding area, or your market, your wheelhouse, which is really Bucks County, I guess, northeast. There's still some business out there for what you're doing. Tons
of business. It's there for the picking.
Wow, that's great. Well, we're going to get right back in the next couple minutes. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll get back in just a few minutes to talk about some more information about Bucks County Association of Realtors. Be right back.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
Looking for a cooking oil with a light flavor and reduced absorption so food preserves its natural flavor? One with a high smoke point for stir-frying, sautéing, grilling, and baking? Then choose all-natural Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil, imported from France. Grapes have been a key ingredient of the healthy Mediterranean diet for years. Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is the chef's choice for high-heat cooking, grilling, stir-frying, sautéing, or even deep frying. And Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is great for baking too, because its delicate taste does not overwhelm the flavor of cakes, cookies, and other favorite recipes. A key traditional ingredient of the Mediterranean, grapeseed oil is a rich source of vitamin E antioxidant and naturally gluten-free. Buy imported Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil today and find great recipes at Pompeian.com.
Wait, don't let this happen to you. At Jan Fence, we're family owned and operated for over 50 years, providing a wide choice of fencing. Why wait online at the big box store? Just call Jan Fence. Ask about our Easy Fence to Go products by Active Yards, the first truly do-it-yourself fence product.
At Jan Fence, we always do what we say. Come see us today.
Step into an extraordinary world that will excite your senses. Experience our delectable Mughlai cuisine and the magic of tandoori savoir-faire. Let our international award-winning team delight you with a taste of heaven. Enjoy our mouth-watering flavors and our unique flair for excellence. Savor the elegance of fine dining and catering. Shazam Restaurant. Indulge your taste buds.
Hey, my name is Jimmy Love, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new television show called Buy, Sell, or Give It Away. Tired of waiting for those high-priced newspaper ads to print? You call them up and you have to wait 2 or 3 days for the ad to show up? Well, no more waiting. Every day, right here at noon from 12 to 1, Buy, Sell, or Give It Away is going to be accessible for you to call in. Maybe you got a boat for sale. I'm selling my pet dinosaur. Maybe you want to sell your house. Give away some furniture to a family in need. Just give us a call. We'll tell everybody what you have for sale or what you're looking for, and your response will be immediate, and it's free. Hey, listen, summertime is coming. Maybe you want to buy a a travel trailer or maybe rent a travel trailer, just give us a call. Buy, Sell, and Give Away. Fantastic show. Don't miss it. Tune in every day from 12 to 1 right here at RadioVisionNetwork.com. Buy, sell, or give it away.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
And we're back here at Real Estate Radio Network with Joe Scarice, and we have Alex Shnayder. I'm going to get that name like by the next commercial. I'm going to get it right. Alex Shnayder. We're talking about real estate law. We're talking about real estate just as a whole, and now we're going to talk a little bit about Bucks County Association of Realtors. You being the current president of the board.
That's correct.
And we were just talking in between the commercial break. I'm sure there was things that you have found out since you were on the board and kind of worked your way up, the committee structure and things of that nature. Can you kind of give me a little overview of what the board does and how does it impact the association and the realtors that are members of Bucks County?
Sure. Well, so first, Bucks County Association of Realtors in Pennsylvania is, I believe, the second largest association throughout the state. Many people actually, it's interesting, always think that Philadelphia is larger just because it's got more density as far as agents and things, but we are, membership-wise, we have about 3,000 members right now, and we offer quite a bit as far as an association, and we've always been at the forefront of things that we're offering to our members. So I got involved with the association because somebody just asked me if I had some interest. I didn't know it existed. It was just some place,
faraway place,
that didn't make any sense to me. So I showed up to a couple meetings, and it seemed like to me it was the good old boy network, right? That there was a couple people that were just coming up there, and I wasn't sure why or what benefit there was to doing it. In any event, I ran to get a seat on the board. I didn't win the first time that I ran because nobody knew who I was. I got involved with some committees. I was involved in initially the Realtors Political Action Committee. I got involved in some bylaws and procedures just because of my legal background. Again, got involved in some of those. Then there was a leadership training that I got involved in the leadership. From the leadership training, I then ran again, got a seat on the board, and then was asked to what we call run the chairs, which is you get elected by the directors that sit on the board to become the vice president. From the vice president, you then have to get elected to become president-elect, and the president-elect automatically become the president the following year. So it's a 3-year commitment to run the chairs if you want to get into the executive positions. So I felt that we wanted to get some fresh faces up there, that we wanted to get people that were in different parts of the county up there, and I feel like we've done that. We have really good directors there that help governance of the association, which is effectively what we do. We're the ones that have the purse strings, and we don't think of that money as ours. We think about it as trustees for the members as a whole. We try to keep dues down as much as we can. We carry on policies and procedures that are required by the National Association of Realtors, the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors. We also are the people of first impression when there's some kind of conflict that somebody wants to bring some kind of action against an agent or even mediation between buyers and sellers. That happens up there as well. And again, of course, we have our networking events for the affiliates, and our affiliates I've been to a lot of associations, and we have a very, very strong affiliate support, which is really important. It's vital. It's the lifeblood of the association.
Oh yeah, between the allowance to have our own independent, lunch and learns or the evening happy hour, we also have an Ask the Experts panel, which has always bared a lot of people to come out, and the subjects are always very, very strong. But also a lot of the things that are put on by Bucks County Association of Realtors independently. Like we just had that event at the winery.
That's right.
I mean, you had several hundred people there.
Yes. Yep. That was a fundraiser for the Realtors Political Action Committee, and what it does is it helps to bring realtor issues to light. So we raise money to help try to get those ideas, issues with transfer tax, issues with municipal use and occupancy issues, certificates of occupancy, things like that. So that's been very successful, and there's been a lot of associations across the state that have now picked up on that we call it the Battle of the Bartenders concept, and are now using that as a fundraiser as well. It's worked out really well.
Funny enough, I belong to 3 other associations other than Bucks, and one of them is basically copycatting, the Battle of the Bartenders. But I realized how you got involved. You were more involved than I thought just by being a member when I ran into you down at the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors when I was doing that presentation for diversity. I would assume you were there for one of the committees tying into Bucks County as well.
Yeah, so I also was elected to run as the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors as a director at the state level as well. For me, it was important to see sort of where everything happens, where where the rubber meets the road, if you will. You go up there. We have committee meetings throughout the 3 days that we're up there. We're up there 3 times a year. Matter of fact, Monday is our next state committee meetings. So we'll be up there for 3 days, and then we vote on various issues. So I've been a Pennsylvania Association of Realtors director for 4 years, I believe, at this point.
I mean, great, you get to use some legal jargon, using your attorney hat, and great you do. You get to know everybody in the association, but there has to be a gratifying feeling of volunteering that your time, because you're not really getting paid for any of that.
Not only am I really not getting paid, I probably lose money by doing it. There's so the short answer to the question is there's an amazing feeling, amazing gratification of being able to volunteer, and it's sort of the if not me then who, and it's not that I'm that there's no sort of reasoning for myself to do it. Obviously getting to know people is one of the best ways to get business, and it's one of the greatest ways to get a deal done. When you can put a face to a name, it's more likely that they're going to want to do business with you, especially when they get to know you. But also, you do end up sacrificing quite a bit. I'm time away from my family, time away from my business. It's difficult. It's difficult to try to juggle all those things. But you know what? If I'm not doing it, then the next guy's not doing it, or the next gal's not doing it, and then it just becomes back to where we were. It becomes a good old boy network, and that's not the case. I'm setting the board up in a position where when I leave, when I'm done, the next people that come in are going to be able to take that board and continue to run with it and continue to improve the board and move forward in a positive direction like it's been the last couple of years.
But you've built some serious blocks where you have learned of or know most or all the members in the board. Meaning there's 3,000 members. They either know who you are or you know of most of them in one form or fashion. Sure. And I mean that using a legal term, a comfortable court, especially when you're dealing with short sales, there's a buyer and seller, you're on one side, you know the other realtor from another situation, from the board. It brings things a little more comfortable, where everybody maybe is a little more at ease than if it was somebody that you don't even know and they're just being outright rude and their negotiation skills are poor. And it just makes everything smooth out a lot. I would think a lot better.
So what's interesting about that is that, I oftentimes will have a conversation with realtors and I'll say, listen, we're not adversarial, we're not attorneys here, we're realtors. We need to cooperate and try to get this thing to close. So that tends to happen, and they feel a little more comfortable with me that way. And the other thing that tends to happen is I give attorneys a better reputation this way. Realtors have always had this feeling that when there's attorneys involved in a transaction, it's going to somehow blow up.
Or slow it down.
Or slow it down, exactly, and gum it up. And knowing me and knowing that I'm the attorney that's involved in the transaction, if I'm not the realtor, then it gives them a real sense of comfort.
That's great. That's a good feeling, because I'll be honest with you, the world gets real small when it comes into real estate transactions.
Yep.
We're going to get right back to you at the next commercial break, and we're going to be talking about one of your real estate listings. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at experian.co.uk.
Here at Freppi's Tex-Mex, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Freppi's because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Freppi's Tex-Mex in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Milan, host of Read All About It. I interview authors of all kinds about their journeys of writing and the struggles that they face. You can watch my show at 12 p.m. on Wednesdays. Tune in to Radio Vision Networks. We hope to see you then.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
And we're back. Joe Scarice here at Real Estate Radio Network. I'm here with Alex Shnayder.
There you
Got
go.
it right?
Yes.
And we've been talking about a lot of things. We've been talking about real estate, we've been talking about law, and then we've been talking about Bucks County Association of Realtors, which we both agree, as we were talking offline, we really do enjoy our membership there and the benefits of what it brings to the affiliates and the members itself. Let's talk about some real estate. I know you brought a piece of real estate that for us to feature. We're going to get it popped up so people could take a look at it. It's in the Levittown.
Yep. So it's this particular property is 46 North Park Drive. It's in Levittown, which Levittown's always been sort of a favorite area for me to sell and
taxes,
have buyers.
The taxes are pretty decent. School district. How's the,
so Levittown, which a lot of people don't realize, is actually a census designated area. So it's not necessarily a municipality.
Okay.
It encompasses multiple municipalities. So it'll go Bristol Township, Falls Township, and Middletown Township. All three are different school systems. This particular one is in Falls Township, and it's Pennsbury Schools, which have always had a reputation for being really good schools. This particular property is in North Park, which is the section in Levittown that this is in. And what's nice about this unit right now is it's a short sale.
Okay.
And as an attorney, I was able to. It had multiple liens against the property. I was able to get them through. It's in excellent condition for a short sale. It's ready to go. We had some challenges initially. We initially tried to price it high enough that we wouldn't have to go through the short sale, but then ultimately speaking to the sellers, and the best decision was to move forward with the short sale. We have done so. We've gotten approval from the first. We're ready to go for the second. This is one of these situations where we're able to get a half approved loan, where I'll likely be getting my seller $10,000 in relocation fees to move out of the short sale.
That's great. Now, I see that I was looking up through the pictures. It's moving condition.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's not like it's worn.
Nope.
And is there room, once a buyer comes into play, is there a buyer in place?
We had a buyer, because, like I mentioned earlier, short sales are anything but short. The buyer didn't stick around, and he ended up buying something else, so we actually just put it back on the market a couple days ago.
Okay, so say we get the short sale approved, it's all the different mortgages are in place. I mean, is there an upswing, like is there a CapEx improvement you could make to the house once you buy it? I mean, 184 is pretty cheap. I mean, is that a 3-bedroom?
It's a 4-bedroom, actually.
4-bedroom. How many baths right now?
It's 2 baths.
So I mean, that's a big house all by itself.
Yes.
I mean, if you even added a dormer, or where it looks like you could have with the way the roof is situated, is the basement finished?
There's no basement. Levittowners typically don't have basements. It's on slab.
Okay.
But what they did was they put on an addition behind what would have been a carport and or a garage at one point. So they finished out the garage, which is very typical in Levittown. They turned it into additional living space that has become their dining room, and behind that they put on a monstrous addition that's this great family room, and that's sort of some of the pictures you see up there.
So really, it's just a matter of updating.
Yes, and and it doesn't need a lot of updating.
But if you wanted to, if you wanted to kind of put your own,
of course,
your own palette to the place, but otherwise it's a moving condition at 184 and change.
Yep.
And I mean that's really economical.
It's a great value, and that's what I was saying, that Levittown has always been a favorite for me, because they're well built homes, they're affordable. You get a nice size yard. They're all wide, deep, flat, for the most part, and the taxes are relatively inexpensive comparative to some of the other municipalities.
There's some industry offsetting some of the.
Sure.
I grew up in a town where a world headquarters was situated, so our taxes and the home I grew up in were never really raised over a decade, just because the corporate headquarters of Sharon Plow, now Merck, was anchored in Kenilworth, New Jersey. So we just never had to worry about taxes. So I know there's some industry in Levittown, so it kind of works out. There's jobs in the area, so somebody buying that, probably a dual income, they can support that type of overhead, that mortgage, along with the taxes. I mean, I'm sure the school tax is kind of...
offhand, I think the taxes are about $4,100 a year.
That's not bad at all.
No,
not based on 184 purchase.
No, it's a great deal. And you brought up an interesting point. The municipalities have gotten the parents of the municipalities, or the board of supervisors or council, depending upon what municipality, they've gotten very progressive in being stewards for the municipalities now. They're not bankrupting them anymore. They're building a lot of infrastructure. They're doing what they can to get what they call rateables, which is to get businesses into the municipality to offset the cost of having to increase taxes. I was representing a builder last night at a subdivision, at a minor subdivision and a major subdivision hearing in Bristol Township, and the theme of the council constantly was, hey, we have enough reserves for 10 years, we don't have to raise taxes. For 10 years, we don't have to raise taxes. This is a constant refrain now, and that was Bristol Township. It's impressive how far these municipalities have come in the last few years for homeowners.
Well, it's again the reason why what they're competing with, and there's a much more educated person on a board now than 25 years ago.
Absolutely.
Okay, because it was a good old boys club.
That's
25, 30 years ago. Let's not kid each other. So you have a much more educated individual on most of these boards, but you're actually competing with Philadelphia County, where they're giving 10-year tax abatements on new construction. So, a young couple that doesn't have a kid yet is not concerned with a school. Why am I going to pay $40-something $100 unless I get everything I want at that purchase, when I can get a 10-year tax abatement and buy a home in the city and still have all the benefits of the city? And that's what you're competing with.
And not to mention it's brand new.
And it's brand new.
Right.
And you're going to be able to sell that 5 years down the road. You're not going to lose money on it, because now the consumer is even much smarter evaluating, making money at closing and things of that nature. They know the appreciating neighborhoods in Philadelphia, so they know they're going to make money on some of these new construction deals. But in the circumstance, that's what you're dealing with.
Sure.
I mean, are you seeing that across the board in the lower Bucks County area? The area where it kind of impacts into Philadelphia County.
Absolutely. I mean, there's whenever there's a client that's sort of on that, we'll say on that cusp, they get enamored with the concept of moving into suburbia, but then they realize that, I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck by getting new construction in Philadelphia County, and that tax abatement is transferable. So you sell that house 5 years down the road, the next buyer
It's
is going to
still
have it
there.
there. Yep. So
It's still there.
It's a really good deal.
Yeah, that's where where your selling point comes into place.
Yep.
Love to get your information. I'd like everybody to know how to get in touch with you via your phone number and your email. Sure. If you want to just give the audience your contact information.
I can be reached at my direct legal office line is 215-436-9144. Email address is my initials, AS, at Shnayderlaw.com, and that's spelled SHNAYDERLAW.com.
Alex, I appreciate you coming
Thank
out
you.
with some great information. And I'm Joe Scarice. I'm with Monument Bank and Real Estate Radio Network. I'd like to thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon. Have a great day.